The queens enter the workroom, with Pikachu coming in behind the rest of the queens, clearly exhausted.
It's a new day in the workroom, and I'm riding high. No, literally, I keep placing high, and I think it's high time I got a goddamn challenge win. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to be in the top consistently. Myself, Mimi, and Oswald are the only ones left to have never placed below safe. The issue is that they all have 2 wins apiece. We're at about the halfway point now, and if I don't crack down, my chances will slip. This is my week, I can feel it.
Pikachu very meekly says that he's sorry for his outburst during Untucked, still clearly shaken up. Flower starts to pipe up, but looks at Mimi and decides not to say anything. Skull Kid says it's not really okay, but that Pikachu is far from the worst bitch here, so he's willing to let it go. Oswald starts to agree, but then looks at Pikachu concerned, and asks if he's okay. Pikachu nods, and says that he spent most of the night sewing, trying to upgrade his runways after last week. Josie looks down, clearly worried.
I'm really starting to worry about Pikachu. A doll needs a proper 8 hours of sleep, and it's starting to seem like he's self-destructing. Pikachu has always been a workhorse, but girl, this isn't healthy. Speaking of not being healthy, I read the tweets from you guys. Apparently eating silica gel packets is not in fact safe. There goes my midnight snacks.
I'm not sure what all of these queens are so worried about. What's wrong with a couple all-nighters? I'm just pushing myself to do better in this competition, what I'm doing isn't enough. Plus, I'm not even that tired. We should all be working hard like this, in my opinion.
Mimi asks Kaido how he feels about Arsene and Elise going home back-to-back, his 2 best friends here. Kaido hesitates, and says that was pretty harsh Mimi, and Mimi giggles. Kaido says that it's rough, but that he'll just have to make some new friends, proposing that he works with Mimi and Flower today. Mimi says she'd love that, but that she wants Flower's permission first, looking to her. Flower glances around, but sighs, and says it couldn't hurt. Mimi smiles at her.
I'm already getting sick of this congeniality boot camp from Mimi, and let me be very clear, I haven't been declawed. I'm still going to speak my mind. Mimi told me that if I want to have an easier time on the drag scene, I need to get better at talking to other queens, so I'll humor her for now. If she trusts Kato, I'll give him a try, but I make no promises it'll go well.
She's already the hair hers.
Hello my loves, and congratulations on making top 9. You've officially passed up a certain iconic fashion clown in placement. Ah, Nikolai, our fan-favorite queen and future cartoon drag race versus the world representative. It's wild to think that his run ended all because of that Rusical. I wonder, will any of you share his fate?
Kagamane Len, I don't like this Rumail, you're freaking me out. Don't put that ugly energy into the room. The Filipina Boom Boom doll, the future winner of the season, and the iconic body chai goddess of the universe will not be going home anytime soon. You better take that back with the quickness.
That's right my loves, this week's maxi challenge is, the Rusical. And don't think this is some baby bitch Rusical either, here on Cartoon Drag Race Philippines, my queens are expected to sing live. So you better get a spoonful of honey and warm that voice up.
Oh hell, we have to sing live? Kagomine Len, was this really necessary? What the hell does singing have to do with being a drag queen? I'm not Trixie fucking Mattel playing the auto harp. I guess I'll just have to do my best.
I knew I felt something in the air. The Rusical is the perfect challenge for me to finally get my win. Len, you shouldn't have. Everyone is gonna think you're favoring me, haha.
Now, before I tell you all the theme of the challenge, we'll have to decide who assigns the roles. So it's about time we have a mini challenge. You'll each have a few minutes to give your best DJ set, and whoever our lovely guest judge deems best wins. Of course, we won't reveal who that is yet, haha. Queens, start your engines, and may the best DJ win.
Kaido won the mini challenge.
We put up a good fight, especially Ritsuka and Josie, but wow. Nobody turns the party like Kaido, let me tell you that much. Someone remind me to get tickets to one of his tours after filming.
Congratulations Kaido, as the winner of the mini challenge, you'll assign the roles for Miss Cartoon Continental the Rusical. Now without further ado, good luck, and don't fuck it up.
The queens gather around Kaido to read over the scripts and have their roles assigned. Mimi's eyes widen at the list of roles.
So, this is interesting. The 9 roles of the challenge are the 9 winners of the Miss Cartoon Continental. That's Cynthia, myself, Hatsune Miku, Ursula,
Snow White, myself again, Miss Bellum, Storm, Hello Kitty, and Lola. And, well, as I just said, I'm one of the winners of Miss Cartoon Continental. Actually, I won twice, which is why in 10 pageants there have been 9 winners. So, is someone gonna have to play me in front of me? Am I gonna have to play myself? This could be very strange.
Pikachu is the first to pipe up, politely asking Kaito if he can play as Hello Kitty. Kaito asks if he's sure, saying that Kitty has the most difficult singing part of the entire performance, and Pikachu nods. Kaito agrees, looking unsure.
Let's make something clear. I'm not placing safe this week, this is my win. I sing live at almost all of my shows at some point, it's a skill I'm fantastic at. Taking the hardest role and knocking it out of the park will finally get me recognition from the judges, and victory will taste sweet.
Kaito then says that his goal here is to give everyone their best shot at success, and that he's going to assign roles based on that, then asking who everyone would like. Aventurine laughs to himself, rolling his eyes.
What a waste. You don't have to be Lola or Celestia, but why would you not take this opportunity to put yourself head and shoulders above the competition? I know all the nonsense of if I want to be the best I have to beat the best, but what's the sense in not taking advantage of all the resources you're given? Better off for me, I suppose.
Aventurine says that he wants to play Miss Bellum. Skull Kid chuckles, and mockingly says what a surprise, Aventurine wants to sell sex. Aventurine just smiles to himself, not responding, and Kaito confirms the role. He then asks Ritsuka what role he would like, catching him off guard as he was focused on reading the script. Flustered, Ritsuka flips rapidly through the pages, before saying that he wants Storm. Kaito looks confused, but confirms it for him.
God damn it, why would I take Storm? The Rusical is almost all solos, one after the other. But Storm's is the shortest. And on top of that, her dance part is the hardest, being pretty much stunt after stunt while we're singing live. She might be the most difficult role in the script. Don't get me wrong, I'm a singer, this is what I do. But even I'm worried about something like this.
Josie taps Kaito on the shoulder and says, "Girl, you haven't given yourself a role yet." Kaito blinks, and then looks embarrassed, thanking Josie. He then says that he's actually going to play as his drag sister, Hatsune Miku. Mimi pipes up, and says she actually was hoping to play as Miku. Kaito looks conflicted.
She wants to play Miku? I don't know. I feel bad, but I mean, shouldn't I be giving myself the best possible chances here? Maybe she has a second choice? I don't want to be shady and give her someone she didn't want to play. That's the exact opposite of what I was hoping for here. Maybe I should just give it up.
As Kaito is about to say that Mimi can have the role, Flower talks over him, and says shouldn't Mimi play as Cynthia since she's such an icon? Mimi gasps, and says that she didn't even think of it like that, but that Cynthia would be perfect. Kaito sighs in relief, and says that he'll be playing as Miku after all, and asks Flower which role she would like. Flower responds that she wants to play as Mimi herself, since she's her drag daughter after all. Mimi loudly screams in excitement, causing the other girls to cover their ears.
Oh my god, Flower's going to play me in the Rusical? I've never been this excited in my life. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make sure she absolutely slays, just you wait. That's my fucking daughter.
After Mimi finishes screaming, Kaito says that just leaves Josie, Skull Kid, and Oswald to choose between Ursula, Snow White, and Lola. Oswald says that he wants to play Snow White, and Josie and Skull Kid both say at the same time that they want to play Lola. The two of them then look at each other.
Of course I'd play Lola. Hello? Who else do you think could bring the cuntiness necessary for the role, if not the stunting, cuntiest queen of the Philippines? Josie? Boom Boom Doll? Rizal? Why would Skull Kid even want to play as Lola? They hate each other. Mostly because of Skull Kid's spooky drag. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Lola literally tell him to go home during his premiere? This role should be mine.
Oh, look at that. Like usual, Josie is the loudest bitch in the room, and she thinks it's going to get her way. Well, not this time, mama. I may not like Lola, but not only does she have the most lines, she has the least singing, and a whole section where the person playing her has to improvise reads for the judges and the rest of the cast while getting carried around the stage. Full tea full shade, we saw what happened last time Josie had to improvise something, that obviously won't go well. Actually, that gives me a cute idea.
The two look as if they're about to fight, but suddenly, Skull Kid says fine, she can have the role, since she'll obviously bomb it and land in the bottom. Josie laughs, looking him up and down, and says, "Sure, Jan." Kaido quickly takes the conversation over, and says that means that Skull Kid will play Ursula, and Josie will play Lola. The queens then separate to begin preparing for the challenge.
Loves, let's make something clear. The pressure is on with this challenge. Think about last season's Rusical. Not only did the frontrunner, Nikolai, get eliminated, but the winner of the challenge, Camilla, went on to win the season. In cartoon Drag Race, the Rusical is a defining challenge, and a lot of times can show who should be considered a finale threat. You don't want to fuck this one up.
Kaito, Mimi, and Flower head to a station together and begin practicing lines and discussing the challenge. Kaito asks the others who they see as threats, now that they've made it to about the midpoint. Flower responds that Mimi is definitely a major threat, of course, and she also sees herself as a frontrunner, but aside from that she has her eyes on Aventurine. Mimi nods, and says that aside from herself and Flower, she thinks that Oswald and Skull Kid are the ones to watch, to which Flower just rolls her eyes. Noticing that neither of them said him, Kaito tries to hide a laugh. Kaito then agrees with them, and says that he's actually also interested in Ritsuka now that Arsene is gone. Mimi playfully elbows him, and says interested how? Kaito blushes a bit, and says that's not what he meant, and not what he's here for. The queens laugh.
I know I don't have a win yet, so if this is delusional let me know, but really? I'm not any sort of threat? I've been in 5 challenges, for 3 of them I was high and for 1 of them I was in the top 2, just losing the lip sync for the win. I'm actually not sure my name has ever been brought up as a threat, no matter how well I've done in the challenges. It's very curious to me.
As Flower is practicing reading and singing her lines, Mimi keeps stopping her every few seconds, giving her notes on what she's doing and interrupting her flow. After several minutes of this, Flower gets annoyed, and asks if Mimi can let her fucking breathe. Mimi gasps, and Flower very quickly looks apologetic, saying she didn't mean to shout at her.
I love Mimi so much, and I'm really excited to play her in this challenge. But oh my god, I'm never gonna get my lines down if she keeps stopping me. We've been practicing for almost 20 minutes, and I'm only a few lines into my entire solo. She's completely suffocating me.
Mimi asks why Flower is upset, saying she just wants to help her, and Flower responds that she appreciates it, but that she needs to be able to do the challenge her way too. Mimi sighs, and says that she wasn't trying to step on Flower's toes, she just really wants Flower to reach her potential. Flower looks upset, and says what, does Mimi not think she's good enough yet? Kaito cuts in, and says he doesn't think that's what Mimi meant. Flower tells Kaito to mind his own business because she wasn't talking to him, and when she wants his opinion, she'll ask for it. Mimi quickly says not to talk to him like that. Flower looks as if she's about to start shouting, but Mimi tells her to just calm down, and think before she says anything else. Flower is quiet for a minute, taking deep breaths, before apologizing to Kaito. Kaito still looks upset, but says that it's alright, she didn't mean it.
I'm worried about Flower. I know she wants to play the character her own way, but, the character is me. I know how to play me. I don't think she'll do very well with all these mistakes she's making, and she's my daughter now. I feel this compulsive need to save her from herself here, but it isn't my place. We deserve the space to fuck up now and again, and hey, maybe she'll prove me wrong.
What's with queens lately and dragging me out of nowhere? Why am I in it? I mean, I keep just moving on, I don't hold resentment here. But it's starting to bother me that they're doing a sniper's job with a shotgun. First Pikachu, and now Flower. I'm working as hard as anyone here, I don't deserve shade like that out of nowhere. But I guess it's okay, I mean, she apologized. Right?
Aventurine, Ritsuka, Josie, and Pikachu are working on their solos together at the same station. While the others chat, Pikachu is dead silent and studying his script, only making a sound when practicing hitting his notes.
I'm tuning out everything except my performance today. The queens keep looking at me strangely, especially Josie, and I'm not sure why. It's like she's looking at a hospital patient. But I'm just going to ignore it. I have to practice, I have to get these notes right, period. My singing part is the hardest in the Rusical, and I need to turn it the fuck out to get my second win.
Aventurine asks Ritsuka how he's feeling about his part in the Rusical. Ritsuka says he's nervous, since he has so many stunts and so much choreography to do while singing. Josie asks isn't that what he does at all of his shows regardless, and Ritsuka says yes, but it's nerve-wracking to prepare for something like that in so little time. Aventurine says he's sure Ritsuka's capable, and Josie agrees, but adds that he's only going to be able to do that if he keeps up the confidence. Ritsuka nods.
I am confident in my abilities, I have been since I walked into this competition. Look at what I was able to do in these lip syncs, I know what I'm doing here. But I can't shake the stress of what'll happen if I fuck it up. You know what they say, 3 strikes and you're out. Well, everyone, I'm on strike too. Things aren't looking bright.
Josie says that isn't very believable, and she thinks it's about time that she gives him a lesson on how to slay like she does. Ritsuka laughs, and says he doesn't think that's necessary, but Aventurine says maybe he should humor her, smiling at him. Ritsuka sighs, and agrees, standing up with Josie.
I think that a lesson on drag delusion with the Filipina Boom Boom doll could do Ritsuka some good. It's pretty clear that he's shaken up after his recent performances, although personally, I think it's been some bullshit with his judging. He shouldn't have lip-synced either of these past 2 weeks, but the important thing now is making sure he doesn't lip-sync again. I'm just gonna say it, I want to take Ritsuka to the finale with me. To have an easier queen to beat, of course. And this is step 1 in doing that.
Josie starts chanting mantras with Ritsuka, periodically stepping up onto stools and making loud proclamations to the room about being the greatest queens of the Philippines, after one of which Josie jumps from her stool into a dip. The workroom is full of laughter, except Pikachu, holding his head due to the noise. After several minutes, the two get back to practice, and Ritsuka thanks Josie for brightening his mood.
The art of being a true Filipina Boom Boom iconic doll a la Puss is not simple to master, but Ritsuka seemed to get the hang of things. Seeing masculine trait feeling his oats and estrogen was hilarious, but I really did want to encourage him to embrace that inner womana. It's the first step in becoming like me, and who wouldn't want to do that? I enjoyed working with Ritsuka a lot, and I think I'd like to do it again in the future. Isn't that strange?
Skull Kid and Oswald are working on their parts together and discussing the state of the competition. Oswald jokes that they're both fucked because they've officially gotten back to the dance challenges after all of that comedy. Skull Kid says don't even joke about that, because he's honestly very relieved that he ended up with a role with barely any choreography, but he's starting to think he might still end up in the bottom tonight because of his singing. Oswald says yeah, he thinks so too, and Skull Kid punches him in the arm playfully, saying he's serious. Oswald says he's sure they'll be fine. What are the chances one of them goes home before Flower or Pikachu? Skull Kid laughs, and says straight to the Kaya Asylum, making Oswald laugh.
I'm trying to comfort Skull Kid here, but I'll be honest with him not around. We're the only 2 non-dancers in the competition, and we aren't exactly known for our runways either. I'm starting to go into a doomsday spiral about what'll happen if we have to lip-sync for our life against each other tonight. I don't think I could bring myself to send him home, but I also refuse to give up and pull a Sato versus Zip. Really, the only thing to do here is to just not land in the bottom. Simple as that, right?
Hello my loves, and welcome to Cartoon Drag Race Philippines Season 2. I am one of your beloved hosts, Kagamane Len. Please welcome our beautiful judging panel, the other half of our sickening judging duo, it's Kagamane Rin. Our permanent judge, and my favorite drag queen, it's Candace Flynn. And our Season 1 crowned queen and winner of last season's Rusical, the tits at the top herself, it's Camilla. How are you, my queen?
Well, I'm starting to hate this season, because first the co-host of my Tits and Legs podcast gets eliminated, and then the very next episode so does my dear, darling little sister. I'd call you unqualified, but those dumbasses flopped, so whatever. I'm just happy to be here.
Well, thanks for that insight, Camilla. If that's what we're calling it. Anyway, in this week's Maxi Challenge, we held the Philippines' second ever Rusical, based on the 9 crowned winners of Miss Cartoon Continental. And tonight on the runway, category is, Night of 1000 Camillas.
Oh my god, what? Really? Kagamane Len, you shouldn't have.
Yes, really, our queens will walk the runway in looks inspired by our very own Season 1 winner, so I hope they have breastplates handy. Now, without further ado, let's begin.
Pikachu, Kaito, Aventurine, Mimi Tachikawa, Josie Rizal, Ritsuka, and Flower slayed the challenge.
I absolutely killed it tonight, start to finish. I hit every note, every second of choreo. The judges laughed when they were supposed to laugh, gagged when they were supposed to gag, and by the time my number was over I felt like I was going to collapse. But it was all worth it. I'm sure that I'll be getting my win tonight.
We all turned it out in this challenge, but I was still so proud of myself for managing with such a difficult character. I think Storm would be proud of how I played her tonight. I landed every flip, every stunt, and I sang perfectly too. I really want to thank Josie for helping me this week. I think it's between me and her for the win.
I could literally see the pride in Mimi's eyes while I performed as her this week. I definitely proved her wrong after that moment in the workroom, and I showed her that I really am capable. I don't think she ever doubted me that much. It was just her motherly instinct. But still, take that, you sick twisted bitch. I'm kidding, Mimi, if you're watching this in the future.
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit was great in the challenge.
Wow, this performance tonight was really at an all-star level, and I turned it way more than I expected too. Same goes for Skull Kid. I'm really proud of how we did overall. That being said, everyone did so incredibly this week. Even Flower, as much as I hate saying it, I'm still worried that I could end up in the bottom. Wish me luck?
Skull Kid was good in the challenge.
I played my character really well. I camped it up just like Camilla would, and my makeup is perfect. But, I'm just not a singer, okay? It doesn't help that Josie absolutely cleared as Lola, definitely better than I would have. For someone who couldn't crack a joke if she had a whip, she sure did slay the improvised reads. I have to give credit where it's due. Luckily, my runway tonight is a showstopper. I'm really hoping it can bring me up into the safe zone at least.
Skull Kid, Josie Rizal, Kaido, Ritsuka, and Pikachu slayed the runway.
I know I've spent a lot of time outside the box lately, but sometimes it's good to hop right back into it. I went with a very classic pageant drag look tonight, inspired by Camilla's finale runway last season. I'm draped in strings of beautiful stones and gold, I'm padded for the gods, and I feel absolutely incredible.
Flower, Mimi Tachikawa, and Aventurine were great on the runway.
Oh, surprise, I look absolutely stunning. I have absolutely no interest pretending otherwise. I'm dressed as Camilla as the Queen of Hearts in the Season 1 Rusical. I'm giving opulence, I'm giving royalty, I'm giving tits that practically reach the judges panel, and most of all I'm giving you life. Just crown me already, for God's sake.
My Camilla look tonight is based on her holiday traveler photo shoot. I have got beautiful golden flowers in a 30-inch purple wig. This dress has a slit up my entire thigh. Now, unlike Camilla, I'm not in flats. So some could argue I look better than even she did, haha. That being said, every part of my outfit is shining under these lights, and I just know I'm in the top this week.
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit was bad on the runway.
I won't lie, pageant drag isn't my thing. I'm getting much better at a glamour mug, and I think the judges appreciated that, but it's pretty clear that they weren't impressed with my outfit tonight. I fear the best part is the breastplate, and I've had that for longer than some of these queens have been alive. I'm not confident about my placement tonight.
My queens, I have made some decisions. Nobody is safe tonight, and in lieu of critiques, we will once again ask the question, who should go home tonight, and why?
Kagamine Len, you're a shady bitch, but trust and believe, I have something to say tonight, so I'm perfectly fine with this.
We saw the ratings last time I got to do something like this, so I understand why they do it again. What interests me is none of us being safe. We all did well, but we can't all be in the top. Maybe they just want us all on the stage for this segment.
Pikachu, we'll start with you.
We all did so well tonight, this is a difficult question. But I'm gonna have to say Skull Kid. He's done shockingly well in the competition, but tonight, he was the worst overall to me. He just isn't quite ready to be here. That being said, I love and respect him as a sister, and I hope he goes far in this career.
I would read him to filth on a worse day, but I respect his reason. Nobody did poorly tonight, and I didn't stand out as the others. I don't think I should go home tonight, but as shocked as you might be by this, I don't blame Pikachu for choosing me. Plus, I'm sure everyone would love to see a threat eliminated.
Next up, Kaido.
Like Pikachu said, this is an especially hard choice this week of all weeks. I suppose I'll say Mimi Tachikawa, because I think she's my biggest competition here. That's such a miscongeniality answer. Fine, if I'm being truthful, I would say Ritsuka. Enjoying admiring him in the workroom isn't enough to justify his track record, even if he was incredible tonight.
Thank you for answering honestly. Ritsuka, you're up next.
I would have to say Pikachu. He had such a big name coming into this competition, but he's consistently underperformed in these challenges. I think when you come in with so much hype, when you're mediocre, it hits even harder. Also, I think he should have been in the bottom 2 over me in episode 5, and as much as I hate to say it, I don't think he was gonna beat Ursen in the lip sync. He's gotten passes before, I don't think he should get them again.
Flower, who should go?
Oswald. And if you need a proper reason, look at his runway tonight. It's almost inappropriate to say his name, because I'm punching down at someone so far beneath me. His contour is unblended and disgusting, his eyeshadow is muddy, his brows are atrocious, and that wig line is a goddamn crime. And if you look at our performances tonight, all of us did incredibly, and then shocker, Oswald and Skull Kid had to lag behind like usual. I'm not impressed by his top placements because I'm not impressed by his drag, and I don't think someone who can comfortably walk the runway looking like this deserves to still be here.
Oh, here the fuck we go. Flower has strong opinions for a bitch who was saved from the bottom last week. Punching down? The only thing punching down is Flower's breastplate on her goddamn chest, because she didn't even glue it down. Let's unpack that if we want to talk about punching down.
I see. Oswald, you'll go next.
Despite Flower having many things to say about me, I'd have to say Pikachu, for the same reasons as Ritska. But it's more than that. When the cameras were off backstage, right before the performance, I watched Pikachu wash a 5-hour energy down by shotgunning 2 Red Bulls. I think it's his time to go home and recover from the pressure of being here.
Oh, come on, Oswald. First of all, that's completely untrue. And even if it were true, why would it matter? Just because I'm starting to get heart palpitations from high caffeine intake doesn't mean I shouldn't be here. He wishes I would go home tonight.
Aventurine, you next.
I'd have to say Kaito. We're at the 6th challenge, and out of the cast, only 2 queens have yet to get a win, being Kaito and Ritska. And while yes, Kaito's track record outpaces Ritska's by a lot, I just don't see Kaito's potential in this competition. He feels like he's doomed to always be the bridesmaid, never the bride. While I think Ritska could definitely break out to the front despite his past performances. Plus, where would I be without my workroom eye candy?
Very interesting. Mimi, you're next up.
I'd have to say Ritska, for the same reason that Kaito did. Is he lovely trait? Yes. But I'm just not getting the caliber of drag I need from him right now. Some of us have 2 wins already, and he hasn't even placed above safe, not to mention lip syncing for his life twice. He was amazing tonight, but if I'm speaking from a bird's eye view of the competition, Ritska is sadly the weak link.
I see. And Josie, who would you say?
If we were going by track record, it would be Ritska, and maybe he would be the fair choice here. But I bonded with him a lot in the workroom, and I think I also see what Aventurine sees in him. He has a lot of potential, he just needs to dig deep and bring out his inner Filipina goddess, like yours truly. So I'll say Skull Kid, by virtue of being the weakest in the challenge tonight despite having the easiest role, and because he fought me for a role in the workroom only to then be mediocre in the challenge.
I'm glad I'm not the only queen here seeing the ridiculous underperformance of Skull Kid and Oswald. Baby, look at the material. Does it not feel wrong that you have 6 iconic titans of drag, plus Ritska, and then 2 bricks? Just trim the fat already, Kagamanelen.
And finally, Skull Kid. Who should go home tonight, and why?
I'd like to go down the line and explain my reasoning here. Kaito, despite seeming like a basic TikTok queen at the start, has proven that he lives up to his family, outdoing himself week after week. Oswald has put up with shit from basically everyone here at some point, and still spends most weeks in the top. Ritska has had weak moments, but when he had to perform to save himself, you could see his fire to be here. 3 strikes and you're out, but I don't think tonight is his 3rd strike. Pikachu, much like Ritska, it's clear he's fighting to be here. Maybe a little too hard. Aventurine has been so consistent on the runway, but he hasn't shied away from comedy challenges, showing a lot of versatility. Josie is one of the most unique, one-of-a-kind personalities to enter the workroom, and she has always brought that sheer charisma into both her challenges and runways. And Mimi Tachikawa came into this competition with a name to live up to, and has done so week after week, basically winning the first 3 challenges in a row. Flower, on the other hand, has spent this entire season in a tight corset with her tongue either on the ground Mimi walks on, or up her damn skirt. The only thing she's shown in this competition is how small her waist is, and how good she is at playing second fiddle for someone infinitely more talented than her. So in my opinion, Flower deserves to go home tonight.
I see. Thank you everyone for your thoughts tonight. I've made my decision. I'm going to start in the middle, and call queens safe until we get to the best and worst of the week. With that being said, Mimi Tachikawa, you are safe. Great job this week.
I'm really proud of how I did tonight. And I'm even more proud of Flower. I shouldn't have underestimated her, and I won't do it again. She looks really angry though, after Skull Kid's monologue. I'll have to make sure that she's calm once we hit Untucked.
Aventurine, you're also safe this week. Good job, you may leave the stage. And Josie Rehearsal, you're safe. Fantastic job, you were definitely a standout. You may leave the stage. Flower, you're safe tonight as well. You may leave the stage.
I'd be lying if I said it wasn't vindicated to be called a standout when Skull Kid was so sure I failed tonight. Look where I am, and look where he is. The Boom Boom doll has come out on top, as per usual.
Pikachu, tonight in both the challenge and the runway, you were a complete star. Absolutely amazing job, you're safe, you may leave the stage.
That little twink son of a
Now, Oswald, Skull Kid, Ritsuka, and Kaito. Of you four, 2 of you will lip sync tonight, and 1 of you will win tonight's challenge. However, nobody is going home tonight. Oswald and Skull Kid, you are both safe. Because tonight, everybody is in the top. Kaito and Ritsuka, you will lip sync for the win.
Oh my god, this is such a relief. I really thought I would have to lip sync against Oswald, and I'm not sure how I would have taken that. But it's fine. And besides, I'm sure I'll have to fight for my life just as hard in the Untucked lounge.
Prior to tonight, I asked you to prepare a lip sync performance to one of your girls, by Troye Sivan.
The time has come for you to lip sync for the win. Good luck, and don't it up.
Lip syncing is what I do, it's who I am. I'm finally getting my shot to prove myself here the same way that I've kept myself here before. We all know I can perform, and Kaito seems ready to perform too. Kaito, I've taken a liking to you in the competition. You're a strong queen, and I'm sure you'll put up a fight. But this win is mine.
I've been in this position before, and I lost my lip sync to Josie. But things are different now. I'm determined to do what it takes to finally get a win, and this song is perfect for it. Remember when I was naked in the confessional booth, and I was all blurry? Editors, I'll tell you here and now, feel free to leave it unblurred.
Ritsuka and Kaito both slayed the lip sync.
Sato, my love, avert your eyes. Kaito thought he could outsex me to this song, but I don't think he realizes how committed I am to the win tonight. If I had to borderline cheat on my lovely boyfriend, them's the breaks. I'm sure he'll understand given the context, and it's just playful revenge for when he kissed or Sen. Viewers at home, enjoy the peep show.
I watch Kaito strip completely naked on stage, taking off all but the tape on his tuck. And just when I think I can't get more gagged, Ritsuka matches the energy and does the same, and the two are practically on top of each other for half of the lip sync. Philippines, this is just softcore porn. Can we even air this? I won't lie, they look kinda hot.
My queens, that was a very titillating lip sync. But I have made my decision. Ritsuka, you're a winner, baby.
Yes, thank God Ritsuka won. Because if Kaito won, his track record would be wildly hard to surpass at this point in the game. Oh, whatever. Go, Ritsuka, go. And don't feel like you're in a rush to put your costume back on.
Kaito, absolutely fantastic job this week, we're thrilled with your performance tonight. You're safe, you may both leave the stage.
This is Untucked.
The queens enter Untucked, Kaito and Ritsuka having gotten back into their costumes after the lip sync. Josie congratulates Ritsuka on winning the challenge, even if he had to flash the audience to do it. Ritsuka laughs and says whatever it takes to get a win around here. Mimi nudges Kaito and says she knew that was what he meant when he said he was interested in Ritsuka. Kaito rolls his eyes, blushing, and says that he isn't here for hookups unlike some queens, darting a look at Aventurine and laughing.
I'm not here on business of fucking a taken man, or a free man for that matter. But what I am here for is some damn challenge wins. I can't believe how close I came this week. But it's alright, there's always next week, and the week after that. You won't catch me losing steam anytime soon.
Mimi says they should honestly be congratulating everyone for how well they all did tonight, and most of the queens cheer. Pikachu meekly asks the others to quiet down a bit, holding his head. Josie asks if he's alright, and he nods. Josie seems concerned, but looks away to continue the conversation. She then asks the room how they feel about the talk they had on stage. Kaido says he certainly enjoyed Skull Kid's peer-reviewed essay, getting a laugh out of the rest of the queens. Flower says it's a shame that the reading challenge won't count as a maxi challenge win, because maybe then Skull Kid would have a real solo win instead of being second place to Oswald like usual. Skull Kid just laughs.
Oop, someone's bitter. What a surprise. Well, she can stay bitter, because guess who's still in the workroom? Yours truly, the future season winner. And like I said before, Flower should be the next to go. I meant it, too.
Flower asks what's funny, does he find it entertaining that she's calling him out for coasting? Mimi quietly tries to tell Flower to calm down, but gets ignored. Skull Kid says he finds it funny that Flower is still trying to come for him and Oswald when they both have a better track record than her. Oswald stands up, and asks why Flower is such a monster to them, and what her issue is with them doing well. As Flower stands up to respond, Mimi sighs and gives up on trying to get her to stop. Flower says she's sick of these gimmicky comedy queens getting by in Dollar General drag, while queens like herself have to work hard to get to where they are. Pikachu mumbles for everyone to please stop shouting, but is talked over by Oswald, who asks if Flower thinks she's better than him just because she can afford expensive runways. Flower says no, she knows she's better than him, because she can actually do makeup and construct a look, and all he can do is cheap slapstick. Skull Kid says he made every look he came onto the show with. Flower responds that she can certainly tell that he made everything he brought from the unfinished hems and torn chiffon. Josie tries to tell everyone to stop shouting, when suddenly, Pikachu falls onto the ground. Josie immediately screams at the top of her lungs, causing the room to go silent.
Oh my god, he fully collapsed. Is he okay? Somebody needs to make sure he's okay. Why hasn't he got enough? We cannot have another panacea.
A producer rushes in, checking on Pikachu to make sure he's alright. Once it's confirmed that he's doing okay, and waking back up, production tells the queens to go back to their rooms immediately, ending Untucked early.